Isn't it? David Tennant joins us now alongside the show's screenwriter, David Wollstonecraft.
It's freaky what you're going for.
Was that your intention?
I'm kidding.
Not
no,
intentionally, no. Exciting, maybe.
Yeah.
Exciting and thrilling. And
Do you think we could just get something out of the way before we
what would that
start
be?
talking? Could you just put your plait over one shoulder?
I'll give you a brief glimpse. And then you need never think of it again.
Well, it's just that it is slightly distracting. You're wearing that because...
I'm in the theatre at the moment. I'm playing...
You look like a woman.
Well, that's slightly what we were going for. I'm playing Richard II at the moment at the RSC, and there's a certain androgynous quality that we were slightly pursuing, so... Yeah.
When you first walked in, I thought you had a mullet.
No, it's much more elegant than that.
Far grander than that, isn't it?
It's because it's not unleashed at the moment. You can kind of see... Oh, Kim at the RSC wig department will be furious. She was like, "Don't show the bits that are sticking down the back." That's it, in its full glory. There you go. That's what it looks like on stage.
David, did you see David in...
Yes, last night. Last night.
And?
Fantastic.
Would you like to give us a critical review?
No. But I thought it was magnificent.
No, when I say critical review, I don't mean, you know, something, criticism. I mean, you know, as a critic.
I wish they had more nights because it's really one of those plays that I'm a big fan of the history plays in general. It's magnificent. It's very pertinent to today as well, kind of like profligate spending. It's great.
Well, and you are, David, at the moment, juggling very successfully the television with the theatre, and obviously we've got this new drama coming up. Is there any... do you find it easy to jump? I mean, presumably there's a quite different mindset around the whole...
Yeah, they're quite different jobs. Yeah, they're very different. The pacing of your day is very different. You know, the theatre's all about 3 hours of very intense work at the end of the day, whereas filming is sort of... is about finding those intense moments through a day with lots of gaps in between. But, well, that's part of the joy for me. That's what, you know, the variety is one of the great joys of this job.
You've written this, David Wollstonecraft.
I have.
It is a question that people often ask lawyers and barristers. How do you defend somebody who could be guilty of a really sickening crime? And how do you go to bed at night? And how do you cope with the fact that your brilliant defence could let that person walk free?
Absolutely.
And that's what you decided to tackle.
That's the moral universe of it. There's a sort of morality play element to it. It's a thriller, basically. I mean, it's about this lawyer, Will Burton, who gets people out of tight corners as a defence barrister. And he's so good as a job, a kind of Lionel Messi of the law. He just can't help but score goals. And he gets somebody off that maybe he shouldn't get off. And then it's about seeing the sort of path of that bullet to the end and all the repercussions. Ashley Jensen, who plays Will's wife, Kate, it's like seeing their family together and what happens when the outside world comes in, really.
People often say, David, that actors and barristers are not a million miles apart.
Oh,
they love the sound of their own voice. They like an audience. They just can't stop. Do you think that's true?
I think undoubtedly there's a huge element of performance in it. And you know, we both spent time at the Old Bailey, and we had a QC, Andrew Jeffries, who was our advisor on this, who was brilliant, and he himself said, "Oh, we're all actors. We all have huge egos. Absolutely, that's part of the job."
And when you say to people like that, you know, you've got somebody who potentially has committed a murder, more than one, something, you know, worse. What do they say? What is the justification?
Honestly, everyone deserves a defence. That's how the legal system works. You get two people who know what they're doing, having at it, and it's the jury who's going to decide who's guilty and who's innocent. It's up to your jury of peers.
Did you ask, you know, what happens if you think that they are guilty, or that...
I may have.
Yeah.
I may have
and
asked
what's
that question.
The answer?
It's dramatised, possibly.
Yeah.
Tonight at 9 o'clock. No, it's that sense of. It's literally the rules. It's just if you say that you're innocent, no matter what my suspicions are, as far as I'm aware, I need to be able to put forth the case as best I can.
I tell you, one of the things that I'm noticing in a lot of the very successful dramas, some of the crime dramas, some of which you've been involved in, others like The Fall, Broadchurch, of course, the way they're written, almost like the domestic side of them, the ordinary people who get wrapped up in events, seems to have got better and better and stronger. And, you know, sometimes makes it very hard to watch. I know a lot of people said The Fall particularly, they found quite a struggle to watch because it was, you know, the bad guy seemed to be such a decent guy. The nuancing of crime writing now seems to have got almost richer and richer.
Yeah, that's what makes it so juicy, isn't it? Yeah, no, absolutely. The fact that there's a lot of courtroom stuff in this, but then, as you say, Ashley Jensen plays my wife, and Gus Barry plays my son, and that's the family element is just as important, probably even more important in this drama than what goes on in the courtroom. Yeah.
You've got another drama coming up. the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who.
Maybe, yes.
Are you in it?
What am I allowed to tell you?
Right, what are you?
I can never remember.
Let's see how many details we can get out.
There is going to be an anniversary.
There is, and
there is a special programme.
There is a special programme on the 23rd of November, and I am in it. I think I can tell you that much, yes.
Can you tell us what you do in it?
I play a character I may have played before.
A doctor?
Maybe, yes.
Medically qualified.
Medically qualified, yes. There's me and Matt Smith. We do stuff together in it, yes. It was great fun, actually.
And apparently you got on exceptionally well, and now you're trying to find ways to work together again. Is that true?
That would be fun. We did have a really good time. It was quite nerve-wracking because I thought, you know, it's his watch now. He might be. I don't want to be rocking the boat, but actually he was so up for it that it was great fun.
50 years is a long time, isn't it? I guess writers everywhere. Was it an inspiration for you, Doctor Who? Was it something that's kind of engaged you as a child that made you think, you know, this?
You know, it's funny. I was talking to somebody the other day. I used to hide behind the sofa. There's one particular episode when there's on a spaceship and people turn into slugs. That was particularly. I don't know the name of it, but I was a big fan. And the escape artist is almost people are hiding behind the sofa to watch this hilariously. It's a kind of there's a
something you kind of sort of recreate.
You're right. That's exactly right. I have to say, like, we had this amazing director, Brian Welsh, who did this kind of Hitchcock thing, where you just these little details that become sinister. It's like your ordinary world starts to have a different impact on you. And even though it was sci-fi, Doctor Who had the same thing. You didn't feel it was something alien to you to kind of raise.
When you finished being the Doctor, you were everywhere. You know, I mean, we were interviewing you. You were being interviewed everywhere. Was there a moment after that when life was a bit tricky and empty? Because I can imagine it was such an intense experience.
Yes, but it doesn't really stop. Doctor Who doesn't really go away.
Because the fans are always
in
touch.
Because people always want to know about it. You know, like we're talking about it now. It's just one of those things. It's one of those things that even people who don't watch the show are interested in. It's just... and I've been lucky to keep doing, you know, things like this have come up. So I've been fairly busy, so it's felt...
So let's just go down the sofa. Favourite Doctor Who ever?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Is he just saying that? Who was your favourite ever?
Because...
Seriously. That's a perfectly reasonable answer, David.
I'm a big fan of Peter Davison for all sorts of reasons.
Yeah, of course. Well, without Peter Davison, there wouldn't be other elements in your life.
Quite.
What about you?
Well, the thing is, David is my favourite Doctor.
Bless you. I'm glad I came all the way here today.
I literally cried.
I've got a special bit of me for John Pertwee.
Sure.
And I think so much of it is about the age you were when you most watched it, if you know what I mean.
I love the fact Charlie will never say, even though we are speaking honestly, you would never say the diplomatic answer. You just say someone else.
Oh, no. Do you want me to just go back over again and say, it's you, we're all agreed?
I appreciate your candid approach there.
I'm not saying you did a bad job.
Move on, let's not linger.
You back on stage tonight?
I am, yes.
Well, we appreciate your time travelling to come here this morning.
It's a pleasure.
Just give us another flick of the plat. Oh, it's got everyone a kerfuffle this morning, hasn't it?
And thank you for giving us more terrifying moments on television.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
The nation will be fine.
Very well.
Great to see you both. The Escape Artist begins tonight, 9 o'clock on BBC One.
So let's have our last look at the